Behind every great result, there's a story of innovation and collaboration.
There's a lot more collaboration between our customer and us, and it's because we can share data.
Our Prophecy software customers aren't just clients, they're partners in progress. For more than 20 years, we've worked with you to accelerate the digital revolution and drive real results within your industrial operations.
The software takes production data and used to make sure that machines, operators, and managers are able to make the right decisions at the right time.
Prophecy isn't just a tool, it's the engine driving your success forward, and the solution enabling your enterprise to decrease costs, increase profits, reduce waste, improve efficiency, and much more.
The data's in the Prophecy system.
But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. Together, we empower teams, accelerate innovation, and drive toward a future that's brighter, more sustainable, and more profitable than ever before. We invite you to experience the power of smart and sustainable operations with Prophecy from GE Vernova.
Okay, welcome everyone today. Thanks for joining. I'll just progress the slide a moment. So I'm Ben Latham, and I'm the director of the Solution Provider Program based in the EMEA, based in the UK here. So welcome everyone to our third webinar in this Tech Talk webinar series this year. Today, the webinar is going to be focused on how to supercharge your SCADA with advanced analytics. So as always, this event is one of our system integrator educational series of events. We do these to raise awareness and knowledge of the new products, the enhancements that are there, as well as some technology trends, but it's all with the goal to help our system integrators, solution providers, improve productivity, solve customer challenges, and uncover new revenue opportunities. So in today's webinar, we've got Cobus van Heerden, who's the Senior Product Manager for Analytics and Machine Learning. He'll be talking about the SCADA and our advanced analytics. He'll touch on some of the updated versions of new templates that are now available for SCADA and Historian, and some templates that are in the pipeline as well for Q2, Q3 release, and more to show there. Just a quick safe harbor statement. During the session today, as in many of these sessions, we might show roadmap ideas that they may or they may not be committed. So before you share anything outside of this, just encourage you to reach out to us if there's something you want to understand more about, to make sure that we say the right thing. Finally, for me, just a bit of housekeeping. Quite important though. I'll go over some of these things that you'll see on your screen. There should be a row of buttons. One of the ones, the orange chat bubble button, that's where you can submit your questions throughout the session. There'll be some time at the end to answer those, so really encourage you to put those in there. The purple button, you can contact myself or Paul Adams, my counterpart in the US, for more information about the Solution Provider Program and how you can interact with it. If there's any questions. The blue paperclip icon, there you can see several additional resources, including access to training and product information, as well as additional ways to hear updates from us. There's an orange question mark button where you can access any technical assistance that you need throughout the session. But as I say every time, a helpful tip, if you do experience an issue, just try refreshing your browser, and that does typically work. And then finally, there's a feedback survey, pink clipboard icon. We'd love to hear your feedback on what you're experiencing with your customers and on the sessions that we're doing today. I'll also just remind everyone this session is being recorded. It will be shared with the slides via email, so keep a lookout for that after the event's finished. So our speaker today, I'll just introduce him quickly. It's our subject matter expert, Cobus van Heerden. He's got a wealth of experience on the topic today, and he's been working with C-Sense and analytics since, well before he joined GE, but he joined GE in 2012, and he's been focused on the product development of advanced analytics software for industrial automation. So without further ado, Cobus, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Ben, and hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you today. And yeah, talk about how we are supercharging our SCADA software with advanced analytics. So we're going to cover these topics briefly in the next 45 minutes, let's say. What is AI and what is new in the world of AI and advanced analytics for SCADA in the prophecy realm, so to speak? We're going to focus quite a bit about the new starter runtime editions, the free C-Sense starter runtimes that we are shipping with our SCADA and historians, and how we are AI enabling them, our SCADA and historians, via these starter runtimes, as well as the templates, the analytics templates we are making available with those runtimes. We're going to focus a moment on one of the templates we recommend as a good starting point. If you are saying, hey, where do I start? I'm a new SI. There are quite a number of templates. Where do I start? We will look at a moment at the PID control loop monitoring and tuning as a good starting point for system integrators. And then generally, if you are a new system integrator and you are just asking, generally speaking, how do you start? Where do you make a start? How do you get enabled? We will spend some time on that, and then some questions and answers at the end. So, quick introduction to AI and what's new. We in GE Vernova manufacturing, prophecy, software and services business, we believe that there is a fantastic business opportunity for all our SIs, system integrators, solution partners specifically, to capitalize on the artificial intelligence buzz in the market. And we are enabling you to do that. We've made, in September last year, what we believe is a strategic move to start to really ship these free C-Sense runtimes with our SCADAs and historians. We'll talk more about that, but we believe you have an opportunity as SIs. If you have a significant install base of GE SCADA customers and historian customers, and you are saying, how can I expand my suite of services that I offer to my customers? We believe you have the opportunity, and we want to help you to also become a trusted advisor and to provide optimization analytics services to your SCADA and historian customers using C-Sense on the back of the analytics that we are augmenting our SCADAs with and building into our SCADAs with via C-Sense, but also in combination with historian and operations hub. So we really think this is a great opportunity for our system integrators, and that's really the focal point, the key message for me today. There is a fantastic opportunity for you to expand your business and to take advantage of the AI sort of opportunity and buzz that's currently in the market. But what is AI? I've just copied what Google's there are many definitions, but what Google is saying. It obviously stands for artificial intelligence. Is a field of science concerned with building computers and machines that can reason, learn, and act in a way that would normally require human intelligence and involve data at scale that humans can't or cannot analyze. There's a typo there, cannot analyze. Or in data at scale that exceeds what humans can analyze. And operationally, AI, artificial intelligence, involve a set of technologies that are primarily based on machine learning, deep learning, used for analytics, predictions, forecasts, recommendations, intelligent data retrieval, and other things. Now, C-Sense, the capabilities that C-Sense bring includes machine learning that enables these things like analytics, predictions, forecast, recommendations, intelligent data retrieval, etc. So AI is a broad set of capabilities, including machine learning. So C-Sense enables our SCADAs with machine learning and AI capabilities in that way. But yes, the main message is we believe a fantastic opportunity that we want to enable for SIs to expand your business. So this is a real single slide. Some of the key messages I want to convey today really is that C-Sense is the industrial analytics, AI and machine learning solution of the property portfolio. It is, the latest version is currently 2024. It is completely modernized. It has a modern look and feel. It's 64-bit enabled. It's ready for the next 5 to 10 years sort of market runway. And if you want, more commercial information about C-Sense, just go onto Seismic, our commercial portals, and search for the C-Sense Sales Toolkit. If you think about licensing and pricing, then in short, C-Sense is available to be quoted via our quoting system, CPQ, and term licensing and perpetual licensing is available for quoting there. But also we are going to bring to market a software as a service subscription version around the Q3 timeline. But definitely this year, SaaS sort of pricing for C-Sense will become also available. But then a key element of today's message is a focus on the fact that we have 2 free runtime editions that we are shipping with our SCADAs and historians, only our 2024 and later SCADAs and historians, and we'll touch more on that. Also, in addition to the C-Sense product engineering team, we now have a brand new data science team, which we refer to as the embedded analytics team. And it's a team of data scientists who are focused on building templates, analytic templates. Those are out-of-the-box use cases for common high-value analytic use cases that are building those templates. And we are regularly going to be releasing new templates. And so we already have a set of templates. We'll touch on those today. But be aware that through the course of this year, in fact, towards the end of this quarter, we will be releasing some new additional templates. And the idea of that is just that these free runtimes and C-Sense in general, has, how can I say, faster time to value, more out-of-the-box results for customers. Also, we have new training courses on Edge. Be aware of those. We'll touch on those. We have also introduced a C-Sense Friday office hour on a weekly basis. We will touch on that. And really exciting news is very soon, in fact, in this quarter, we will launch the first ever C-Sense Partner Certification Badge, a Builder Badge. So all of you SIs will be able to get certified on C-Sense by taking that Builder Badge exam. We will also touch on, how can you sell C-Sense? How can you promote C-Sense? And the key answer really is focus on your install base. You have probably existing SCADA and historian customers. We want to enable you with these free runtimes to go back to those and essentially provide more services, more solutions around these free runtimes, and then upsell to paid C-Sense runtimes and just upsell from that. Okay, so those are some of the things we'll be touching on in this webinar. But just briefly, a few slides in terms of introduction on, we are focused on supercharging our SCADAs and historians with advanced analytics and AI, not for nothing. In other words, just because it's fun and it sounds cool. No, because we believe that we want to use that to enable customers to be more productive, to not only with SCADAs, let's say, do supervisory control in the traditional sense of the word, but to also optimize their control, to help enable the SCADA to now be also a productivity tool whereby you can not only do supervisory control, but optimize productivity and control in your process. And on the historian side, similarly, utilize the data to get more value, insights to squeeze more productivity. And that is what CSense enables, to really utilize the data, the real-time data in the sense coming from the SCADA, the historical data from the historian, to gain insight, to understand, reduce, and optimize variability, and just to help customers improve productivity. And so, I would say AI, ML, but let's talk about optimization. Software in general has probably been a luxury in the past, but I would argue today it's essential. It is essential because if you want to answer the question, how do I drive more productivity from my existing software or from my plant using the available data, or if you even want to answer the question, how do I operate my asset or my machine or my line or my plant always in an optimal way, the answer to that question is becoming more difficult because the environment is changing more often. People making more products on the same machines. Their raw material costs are maybe changing more frequently. They maybe have to swap raw material suppliers more frequently. Maybe their energy costs are changing now on an hourly basis and not on a monthly basis. And so, also it's a balancing act to trade off, do I produce more, or do I just switch off my machine to save energy if energy is suddenly very expensive? And so it's really a balancing act. And I would argue that, in that sense, AI, machine learning, analytics, and optimization software is really enabling our SCADAs to SCADA customers to not only operate or control the plant, but also optimize the control of the plant. Okay, so what is CSense then? This is the very short sort of elevator pitch, but it's basically analytics software to optimize the performance of assets, industrial assets or manufacturing plants. And the performance there means it helps you reduce variability in performance. That will be variability in throughput, variability in quality, variability in energy usage, but also improve your performance, any of these metrics, by up to 10% or more rapidly. That can be in as quickly as typically in hours if it's about gaining new insight from data, typically within 3 months for some of the capabilities, and definitely within 6 months for most of the bigger implementations you would do for CSense. With return on investment within 1 year, typically by helping customers understand how to run the asset in an optimal way, or the plant or the line. What are the best settings, the best set points, whether it's recipe settings or whether it's set points or settings they need to set on the line to determine how to best run the line. And CSense does that by using the available data and applying algorithms like machine learning, AI optimization, and control algorithms. And typically, we're seeing up to 10% improvement. So, what makes it unique in the marketplace, and, CSense is unique in that it combines 5 key capabilities that really supports the whole optimization analytics journey, from offline analysis to closed loop autonomous optimal operations, in a single product from a global trusted vendor, which you now have free access to through free runtime editions. The free runtime editions give the customer access to all of these capabilities, but in a limited sense. So you can do free POCs with some out-of-the-box templates. And the customer can really know that with a proven single solution from a global vendor, they can go on a journey with us, all the way to autonomous optimal control, if that's what they want to do. Partnering with a trusted global vendor like GE Vernova, and you being the partner that can help them on that journey step by step. And so, typically the way value is provided is through the analysis capabilities. You can use existing data in the historian, typically to understand or answer all the why questions. Why are things not what they should be? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why do I see variation in my quality or in this temperature? And then, how can I improve it? And then reducing by configuring monitoring prediction, deploying prediction models, you can reduce that variability, run more consistently, and finally, by deploying optimizers in advanced control and digital twin models, you can really squeeze the best performance out of the asset or the line or the plant. And we're typically seeing up to 10% performance improvements. When you essentially buy CSense, there are three components, essentially analysis tools called troubleshooters, a architect, which is a drag and drop visual development environment where engineers can configure and test analytic solutions before you deploy them to a runtime where they run permanently with Operations Hub as a web UI. And when you buy CSense, you always get Operations Hub Ultimate license with the paid CSense runtime, where you as a partner can configure any web UI for your customer to display the outputs that the CSense Analytics generate for the customer. This is a proven solution. This is a proven optimization AI ML capability being used globally by many customers across the globe, across many different industries and seeing improvements of significant margins across by applying all of these capabilities. And if you want to see detailed success stories, feel free to go to our website with the link above, where there are detailed stories on all of this. But this is a slide also which you can use as a partner to cross the credibility gap, to make customers aware that, because you see little snippet stories of customers in various industries improving and using, optimizing their processes with CSense. Be aware that if you sell CSense, then for new customers this year, so limited time offer of free consulting. We offer free consulting. That means in collaboration with you as a partner, if it's your customer, a new CSense customer can message us, can email me with proof of purchase, and we will schedule 6-hour free consulting sessions with them, 6 hourly sessions, where me together with you as a partner, I can get to know the customer, we give them some good attention, we can collaborate to make sure you help them get the software installed and connect to their data sources without issues. And for 2 sessions, we can pick one use case that they are interested in and see how would they typically make a start with that. And then in the last session, we look at, okay, how do you go now? Where can you go for more help, more services, more guidance? And the answer will be go to your SI, go to your solution partner. And obviously, if you want to collaborate with GE Professional Services or so, then you are very welcome. But this is a good way for us to give good attention to new customers that buy CSense. Just a moment on roadmap now. So what is the vision? Where are we going with CSense next? So the current release is 2024, but the vision is that we want to go from an analytic solution to really an enterprise, scalable, SaaS analytic solution. And we want 2026 to be the only analytics product that is fully integrated with a Prophecy portfolio, in the sense with a new Data Hub enterprise asset model, as well as the Config Hub centralized management of analytics across the enterprise. We wanted to really enable Python for industry in that it enables the industrial scale, secure deployment of AI, Python-based analytics and AI models for industrial settings, whether it is in the cloud or prem on the edge, with central management of all of that in asset model context. We really want to have a message that to the world that, Mr. Customer, if you journey with us, you are future proof, because CSense have 5-in-1 capabilities: analyze, model, predict, simulate, and optimize, that supports your whole analytics journey from offline analysis to closed loop control, autonomous operations. And if you build on CSense, it can run anywhere, in the cloud, on premise, on the edge. And so what we are aiming for 2026 is really that, you can engineers, both our internal industrial embedded analytics team of data scientists or the customers themselves, of you as solution partners, can develop analytic templates using the architect drag and drop environment, publish them to a cloud library, and then deploy these analytic templates against the Data Hub asset model from out of Config Hub, a new runtime manager in the cloud, and then remotely and centrally manage those deployments. And it can be essentially a network of runtimes, remote runtimes, that also includes our brand new CSense containerized runtime that can be in the cloud, on premise, or on the edge. And so that's the journey where we want to go. But also this new container runtime, we are embedding into some of our Prophecy products, where some of these templates we are building will just become available with these products. So for example, our Smart Factory 2025 release of our MES software in the cloud, the SaaS version, will contain downtime prediction. So we have already now embedded this container runtime into Smart Factory Cloud, and that downtime prediction template will be available to customers of Smart Factory, just part of Smart Factory, plug and play out of the box for that very specific use case. But CSense more generally will remain the optimization solution for broader optimization, for our customers. So in terms of how this will be released, so you can expect essentially later this year, towards Q3, we will come out with just SaaS pricing, as a GE-hosted version of CSense. It will likely be available only together with our SaaS Historian, as well as our Prophecy for Smart Factory SaaS solution. So not necessarily on its own. So with Historian or with Smart Factory, because that's the only way we're going to get data securely to and from CSense in the cloud. Sorry, I have progressed too quickly there. And then essentially in Q1 next year, which is typically when we release 2026 versions of all our Prophecy products, we will be releasing first 2026 version, both SaaS version and a traditional on-prem version of CSense, where you will basically see some improvements, some top prioritized customer improvements in CSense. Okay, now let's move on from that to the free runtimes and templates. So the important message for our SIs is, and that is really super exciting. I believe it's super strategic, because we have a massive install base globally of SCADAs and Historians, and you are the partners as system integrators and solution partners of GE. You are the people who have implemented that and configure those for your customers. So what we are saying now is that with our latest version of SCADAs, both iFix and Simplicity, version 2024 or later, are shipping with a new free CSense 2024 SCADA starter, a starter runtime edition. What is that? That is a free CSense runtime that ships with a SCADA. It's a free runtime license. It's essentially a one-tag CSense runtime license, so very limited. But also with it, we ship templates. So you see a list of templates here: alarm pattern monitoring, sensor health monitoring, PID control loops monitoring, etc. the customer is entitled to for free deploy one instance of each of these templates with the limitations mentioned on the slide and also mentioned in the instructions coming with the templates. Or if they don't want to do the templates, they want to just do one of their own analytics, then they can do any single one that is custom and seasons analytic, as long as that analytic writes out only one tag, meaning has one output, because it's a one tag seasons runtime. So they can deploy one instance of each or all of these templates or one custom analytic. If they want to do more of the templates or more custom analytics, the only action you have to take is they must just buy the appropriate runtime license. So you just upgrade the license to not a starter runtime license, but a paid seasons normal runtime license with the right amount of tags, where the starter runtimes are one tag. So let's say you upgrade it to 1,000 tag seasons runtime. So it's just a license upgrade. Bear in mind that the paid seasons runtimes, they include a free developer license. So you get a runtime license as well as a one additional seasons developer license that you can put on a developer machine that contains all the components of seasons where you can do development. Whereas the free SCADA Starter Runtime Edition is only the runtime license. It only enables Architect and Runtime Manager on the machine where you install it. So you don't get Troubleshooter and the additional developer license with these free runtimes. But these templates have all been designed so you do not require those components to deploy these templates. And you still have Architect to develop and test any custom analytic you want to create on that runtime machine and then deploy it. So it's really just meant for free POCs, the free runtime, okay? And it ships with all SCADA licenses, perpetual and term, but only the latest versions of SCADAs. And you also get obviously Operations Hub Ultimate one user license for free, that because some of these templates have UIs associated with them. Okay, and with Historian, it's the same. The only difference with Historian is that now it's not available with all Historian licenses. We are shipping a free, what we call Seasons Historian Starter Runtime License, only with term Historian licenses and cloud subscriptions. And the reason for that is, in the SCADA sense, we wanted to do it with all SCADAs to leverage the large install base, and because SCADAs are often perpetual. With Historians, we wanted to drive a conversion to term to help incentivize that. So we're only shipping these free runtimes with term and cloud subscription Historians. So the customer is getting a equivalent period, term or subscription, whatever the Historian subscription period or term license period is. They get a equivalent period Seasons Historian Starter Runtime term license, and also again a Operations Hub Ultimate term license. Again with templates, but some of the same templates as the SCADA runtimes, but also a couple of new ones or different ones like tag correlations and time series forecasting, which makes more sense for Historian because you definitely need historical data in the Historian. But yes, so we are shipping with our Historian term and subscription licenses, free Historian starter runtimes, and with all of our SCADAs, free SCADA starter runtimes. And each of these licenses has entitlement, so to speak, to a set of templates which you can download from our support website. Like I just said, where do you find these templates? When we send the SCADA software, let's say you buy it, you get your SCADA license or your Historian license, you'll be getting a Seasons license too. So you will see on the invoice or on the quote, you'll see a line item for the Seasons SCADA starter runtime or the Seasons Historian starter runtime. And just like any other Prophecy software, you have to download the Seasons installer. You know, you download your SCADA, you download your Seasons software, you install it. It's a separate install. But then if you say, okay, where's my templates? The templates are distributed as files that you can download from the support website, just like you download a SIM, the same website. Just search for it, search for Season Starter runtime templates. You'll see them there. You can download them. I've put 2 links in here to the latest versions. Make sure to take care to look at what is the latest release version, because these are not shipped with the software products. They are shipped as separate content, as templates, right? So, and the reason for that is so that our data science team can rapidly build new templates and ship it decoupled from the CSense or product development cycles, right? So you don't need to wait for a new version of CSense for us to release new templates. So you download them here, and then they will each have an instruction. So every template has a PDF instruction document with step-by-step instructions on how to deploy that specific template with your starter runtime license. Okay, so I'm going to briefly look at one slide of each of the templates here. So there is, the first one is alarm pattern recognition. It's shipped with our SCADA starter runtime, and it uses historical alarms and events data in iFix or Simplicity or in the Historian A&E database to identify recurring patterns in alarms, right? So, or sequences or patterns to help you really identify root causes of alarm bursts and sequences, to help you help operators identify what is the current sequence that is playing out on my plant, where did it start, and what are many recurring, often frequently recurring patterns of alarms. The second one is sensor health. The sensor health template is all about helping customers improve data quality. I mean, in the age of AI, it's junk in, junk out. If you have bad quality data, you won't be able to get a lot of value from AI analytics. So what this is an out-of-the-box template and a simple OpsUp app that you configure all your sensors. CSense learn the normal behavior of the sensors from historical data and the Historian. And, if you have Historian, then it can learn normal behavior from it. If you don't, you get limited monitoring, just things like bad quality, flatlining, etc. But in both cases, it just gives you a simple app where it shows you a list of sensors that have problems, so you can act on it. Okay, PID control loop. This is really a super valuable capability. To be honest, it's the starting point that we will also recommend. And here with a free runtime, you are allowed to monitor one loop. One control loop you can configure, and you can monitor it using the out-of-the-box OpsUp app that comes with CSense. But CSense also, in the troubleshooters, it has capabilities to help you derive models, transfer function models from data that it records while it's monitoring the loops, as well as calculate optimal tuning settings for your PID loop. So it's really a complete tool set to not only monitor but optimize PID loop performance and ensure that it always remains optimal. But as I've mentioned, with the free runtimes, you don't get troubleshooter. So you don't get the auto modeling and auto tuning capabilities. You're only allowed to monitor one loop. So if you want to monitor more loops or get the modeling and tuning capabilities, then all they have to do again is buy CSense, so upgrade to a paid runtime. Okay, so the next one here is AI machine learning model template. So this allows, it's a ready CSense analytic, which you just open the files and you retrain the machine learning model on your own. The customer can train it, or you train it for the customer on their own data to predict one output. For example, a good option is lab quality samples. So, when you manage your quality based on lab samples, these are infrequent and late. So if you train a machine learning model to predict that quality in real time, it can help you reduce lab testing and actually do real-time quality control based on that model prediction. So that is the sort of value use case you can do with this model template. Then model predictive control. Model predictive control is really the most popular and advanced control method in industry. So the moment, not all control use cases are suitable for the simple PID algorithm that's present in PLCs and SCADAs and DCSs. Well, the most popular advanced control one is MPC. You can now know that all our SCADAs are now APC advanced control and MPC enabled via this free runtime that comes with cSense, because cSense has out-of-the-box MPC capabilities. And with this template, we allow for free each SCADA customer using this cSense SCADA starter runtime to deploy one MPC controller of 2x2 size for free with that runtime. And there are valuable use cases in wastewater. For example, you can control the flow rate of your raw water and maybe the chlorine dosage rate of the chlorine dosage valve, while simultaneously controlling the turbidity and maybe the excess concentration of chlorine in the final water. And as you know, if you adjust any of those things, it affects both of the outputs. And so in cases where you have high dimensional systems or strong interactions between loops, it's ideal for, or long process time delays, ideal for advanced control. Tag correlations. This template allows you to very simple configure one block, deploy it against it. This one ships with Historian, or is entitled to the Historian starter runtime. You configure a correlations block, and you can basically tell cSense to correlate any selection of Historian tags with one another or with one other tag to identify the top 3 correlations and write that back to Historian, and maybe visualize that in OpsUp to unlock hidden information. Time series forecasting. In this case, we are, in this case, we are shipping a forecasting algorithm that allows you to forecast any single tag KPI into the future. An example here is a wastewater plant. You may want to know over the next 24 hours, what will the inflow into my plant be? Well, in this case, you can use the historical data, maybe of a year, of that inflow to predict or to forecast the expected pattern that may play out over the next 24 hours. That is forecasting. So these are examples of the current set of templates that are shipping with the free runtimes. But if you say, where should we start? There are so many. Then our recommendation is start with PID control loop monitoring and tuning. And the reason for that is that we have great examples that by tuning a few loops, you can make a real quantifiable improvement to your customers' operations. And it is the type of skills that every SCADA and the PLC engineer typically has today. So the same engineers that manage the PLCs, the SCADAs, they typically know about PID control loops. You typically know how to tune them. Seasons just make that easier. So I think PID loop monitoring and tuning is a really good, valuable use case to start with not much additional skill, and it's fully productized with cSense. And, we have multiple examples, especially in mining and metals, where a customer has tuned, let's say, 10% of their loops. So let's say they have 300 to 400 loops in a plant, or 200 loops. They tune the top worst performing 10%. So in this case, 20 loops tuned in a gold producing plant resulted in a 1.5% recovery increase, $1 million a year benefit to that customer. So it's really a very quantifiable improvements you can make and it's a natural add-on to SCADA, where you may have already got PID loops access to in the PLCs. Here are some videos, really very exciting little two very short videos you can share with your customers on YouTube that demonstrates how that works in CSense. But bear in mind, with a free runtime, the idea is that you configure the customer with a free runtime to monitor one loop if they like it, and you demonstrate what the full paid runtime would be able to do. If they like it or they want to do more, they just buy the runtime. Okay, so how would you get started with all of this? Maybe you're a new SI, you say, wow, this is cool, but this is much. Where do I start? Then I think the first point I want to challenge you with today is set a goal. There is an opportunity in the market. We are facilitating that opportunity for you by shipping these free runtimes that enable free POCs. It's a chance for you to become a trusted advisor to your customer, to optimize their plans, to implement AI ML solutions on the back of your SCADA and historian install base with these new free runtimes. So just think of what are the top 3 customers in your install base, your customers, that you would want to take this to, and how can customers get these runtimes? Well, they either must buy or have the latest version, 2024 or later version of iFix or Simplicity or Historian. Obviously, iFix and Simplicity, it's perpetual or term. Historian's only term or cloud subscription. Or they must have acceleration plan and upgrade to the latest version. So this is a great incentive for you to sell the latest versions of our software, of our SCADAs and historians, so they can get the new free runtimes. To upgrade your customers, if they maybe have lapsed their AP, get them to resell AP to them, to re-enable an acceleration plan, and then upgrade them to the latest versions of our software. Then they will get these free runtimes. So I think, pick 3 customers and that are on the latest versions or that have received these runtimes, and go and for the rest of this year, set a goal of 3. Even just 1, start somewhere, go and implement one of these templates, even if it's PID control loop monitoring for a customer. Get trained. We have brand new CSense training courses on Edge. I'm listing them here. If you go into our learning environment and you go and look under Historian, Analytics and Reporting, you'll see the CSense learning track, and you'll see an introduction course to all the components of CSense, and then one overview course to the runtimes, and then the sort of 3 top runtime templates, I would say, alarm pattern, sensor health, and PID control loop have detailed, step-by-step, follow me course that you can follow to see how they are implemented. Get certified. Like I say, super exciting. We will release, watch this space very soon in our maybe monthly big emails that marketing sends out. We will announce once a CSense badge certification exam is available. Go and take that exam, do the training, take that exam, get certified on CSense. Attend the office hours, right? Weekly on a Friday, 1 hour, I'm available for you to answer your latest questions. Every week we have one topic. We take one of the templates and demonstrate them, talk about them, and just answer any questions you might have on CSense. So join that. If you don't have that invitation, reach out to Ben or your CSense channel manager to get it. Last point is collaborate with experienced partners. Our partner in South Africa called Arvino Digital, the founder there is, Johan Rademan. He is ex-CSense executive, one of the early CSense executives. They are globally, they have a monitoring center. They are globally offering monitoring and tuning services. They are probably monitoring about 11 plants globally from 5 or more customers on different areas of the world. They're very experienced in monitoring and tuning and optimizing PID control loops for customers. And he is offering to help. He is saying that he's willing to help brand new partners get going. Maybe you want to also offer remote monitoring and tuning service to your customers. Then Arvino is willing to help you learn, show you how to do that on GE software. They are setting this up on GE software with Historian, OpsUp, CSense basically, and they're willing to work with other partners. So reach out to Johan directly if that is something that you will value as a maybe new partner. Okay, so that's it from me. I hope that was useful. Any questions?
Brilliant, Cobus, fantastic. And yeah, we've got quite an energetic audience, but just while we get through some of the questions in a second, I'll go through them and check the ones to ask. Just to let everyone know again, the pink survey icon. We'd really love to hear your feedback around today's session and what you're hearing from your customers. So if you can take some time to answer that, that's really appreciated. And also have a look around the blue paper icon where, okay, there's some stuff on the screen here, but you'll also find some other information about how to access that training that Cobus mentioned. And by all means, yes, reach out to myself or Paul in the US and your channel managers for any other information that you need on that. So a couple of questions that maybe can take quite quickly. So the first one was, is CSense required to run in the cloud or can it run on premise? I think you did talk about that, but just to clarify would be great.
CSense runs on premise. It can also run. CSense is Windows-based software primarily. It runs on any suitable Windows machine. We have a new container runtime, but that's not yet available to public. That's available with Smart Factory now with a new release. But for your partners, all you need to know is CSense is Windows-based on-prem software, and the way it runs in the cloud is on suitable VMs in a customer's VPC. So it's been tested AWS Azure, but it's primarily on-prem, and in the same way on suitable VMs in the cloud, Azure, AWS. And yes, later this year, there is a full containerized version, that SaaS version that we will release. But for now, what you need to know, it's on-prem software.
Yeah, and this is linked slightly. I don't know if it's, how frequent is the communication between an on-premise historian and the AWS VMs, for example? So is it every second or every day, or, I don't know if you know the answer to that.
I heard you ask how frequent is the communication between the cloud historian and on-prem VMs. Is that the question?
No, the on-prem historian and the cloud VMs, yeah.
Okay. So it really depends. It totally depends on the use case and how you configure it. Let's say if you put CSense in the cloud and you have historian on-premise, I guess that's the use case you're referring to, then CSense reads from the on-prem historian, and you can set the frequency and the amount of data you read. So you can say, read hourly the last hour of data, or read every second the last available value, or read daily the last. So you can completely configure it. So how frequently it reads would be up to you.
That's fine. Okay. Someone asked as well, do we need Operations Hub to implement CSense runtime? I don't think.
So Operations Hub and CSense are obviously two separate products. Operations Hub, you get an OpsUp license. It ships with CSense. So if you buy CSense, you get an OpsUp license too. Do you require OpsUp? You need OpsUp just because some of the templates have an OpsUp screen or app. So the operator UI, the display is an OpsUp app. For example, for alarm patterns, for for many of the templates, right? Alarm patterns, sensor health, PID control loops. And so typically you deploy the analytic to run in the CSense runtime. It would write data either to historian or a local SQL database, and there's a display in OpsUp. So if you want to view the display, then yes, you need OpsUp.
Okay. Someone mentioned about, so you talked about some examples of where C-Sense has been used, and I don't know if we have any examples where we've used it in discrete manufacturing.
So absolutely, yes. Discrete, for example, one of our big customers is a large global automotive vendor. They are using in their automotive manufacturing plants to monitor the health and condition of their automotive manufacturing lines and equipment. So that's a discrete. We also have, if you look at the demo, if you go through the training, you'll see C-Sense can be used on continuous batch and discrete plants. And yes, we have examples, for example, engine manufacturing, die casting, engine parts, where quality optimization of parts, understanding and reducing defects on engine parts. So I think in the automotive space, mostly C-Sense has been applied on discrete manufacturing, but yes, it works in discrete manufacturing.
Okay. I can take this one. I think you answered this. One of the questions came in about, are there any fees to utilize the C-Sense templates? But the answer is no, they come as part of the package, right?
Correct.
Easy answer. We also talked about some of these, but just a good reminder, I think, is how can SIs get enabled? So I think we're showing some of this on the screen, and Cobus showed already the cost of learning.
Repeat a few points we made. I think get trained, get certified, attend the office hours to get your questions answered, collaborate with experienced other partners like Arvino. If you're interested, obviously you know where to find us. Reach out to your local, GE managers.
Yeah.
I think those are the main things. And set a target, right? Decide what you want to achieve. Go to your install base. Find 3 customers and implement this here. But obviously they need to be on version 2024 of SCADA as historians. So maybe you'll have to upgrade them first. So go to all customers that has the latest SCADA and historians.
And that ties into the business case, I think, the business opportunity that this offers to system integrators, which was another question there.
Yeah, I think we mentioned on that. I think there's a big pull on AI in the market. With this, you can now say our SCADAs are AI enabled. You can say our SCADAs are advanced control enabled and historians. And it's a driver to upgrade, to renew AP, to upgrade customers to the latest versions of our software, and in the historian case, to convert them to term historians so they can get access to our AI-enabled historian.
Exactly. And I think with all this, I mean, Cobus mentioned about the office hours, for example, which is a Teams invitation. So please reach out to us or your channel manager. We can get you added to that. The training and all the new certification that will be coming out. Yes, we have our big channel email that goes out every 2 months, but I also, with Paul, write a newsletter which will include that information in. We have a LinkedIn group that we update these things on regularly. So search for the GE Vernova Prophecy Solution Provider LinkedIn group, and you can get more updates on that. We're coming up to the top of the hour. You mentioned about AI capabilities there, and someone did ask that question about what specific AI capabilities does C-Sense have? I don't know if you can answer that in 30 seconds, Cobus.
Yeah, AI is a large space, but machine learning is part of it. So AI is that making machines reason, sense, and act. Sense, reason, and act. C-Sense can do all of that with 5 capabilities based on machine learning and optimization algorithms.
Perfect. Okay, so everyone, this is all that's left to do is thank everyone for their time. Let you know, keep an eye out for the email that will come out with the recording and the materials that we shared. Definitely set those targets and look into the new learning and then the certification that's going to come up. And as always, reach out to us. If you've got a customer where you think this is potential, then we can also, not only with Cobus, we can have our business consultants try and support you on those opportunities. And we welcome that opportunity as well. So yeah, thanks Cobus, thanks everyone else. See you on the next one.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, bye-bye.